Hello everyone, Luis Concepcion here from Strategic Profit Line Trading, coming to you with the plan of the week for week number 27. Here's our agenda for the week. I'll cover the news, provide a market overview of the indices, and while earnings season has dwindled down, earnings season is just picking back up. So this will probably be the last week with a little bit, only 30 companies reporting, but we should pick it up again next week. This is week 25 results, provided 13 zones, went 4-0 in options, no entry went 8. Winnebago, ticker symbol WGO is still in progress for those of you looking at that. And that was week 25. Here's this week's outlook. Again, nothing happening on Monday. Not a lot of companies that most people would know. However, I do have some zones for you this week, and the majority of earnings will be on Thursday. Went ahead and updated week 25, and we are 46-7 on the year. Moving into the news, as you can see on Monday, and that's the wrong week. Here we go. Starting with Monday, there's nothing that we have affecting the US markets. However, for those of you trading futures and Forex, you can see that the Australian dollar will be affected in the evening. So be mindful of that. Moving on to Tuesday, again, no news affecting the US markets. However, for those of you who are trading futures and Forex, the New Zealand dollar will be affected after hours. The first news event that we have that will impact the equities and stock market will be on Wednesday, and that's going to be midday at 11 o'clock. You can see that we have FOMC meeting. So be mindful of that and consider getting out of your trades prior to 11 o'clock. Then moving on to Thursday, you can see we got unemployment claims pre-market, so that should provide us some volatility, especially with the FOMC at the end of the day on Wednesday with an additional information with unemployment claims pre-market on Thursday. The British pound will be affected after hours on Thursday, and then nothing affecting the U.S. markets on Friday. So pretty light week for news. And like I said, the majority of it's going to be Wednesday afternoon into Thursday morning. And that's going to do it for the news this week. Moving into the charts and starting with the SPX, as you can see, it went ahead and made an all new time high. The first demand level I have for you is sitting at 6032.17 to 5936.4. NASDAQ also made all new time highs last week. And the first level I have for you is sitting at 21,875.20 to 21,541.29. Moving on to the diamonds or the Dow. Hasn't quite yet made all, all new time highs yet, still $3 away. However, it may make it this week to catch up with the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. However, the first demand level I have for you is sitting at 431.66 to 427.75. And then lastly, the rut, which is in trail, nowhere near its all-time highs. Not sure if it'll make it if we get a pullback in the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. However, it did finally break through our level. The next level I have for you is sitting at 2333.73 to 2370.13, with a subsequent level at 2412.03 to 2461.77 on the supply side. First demand level I have for you is sitting at 2042.49 to 2009.91. Now, moving into earnings for this week. Starting on Tuesday, the aftermarket, the first company I have for you is Penguin Solution, ticker symbol PENG. On the demand side, 15.36 to 14.13, and their supply at 28.53 to 29.80. The next company I have for you is Kura, ticker symbol KRUS. On the demand side, 48.74 to 37.80. And I believe I don't have a supply zone for you with this company. Next company I have for you is Saratoga, ticker symbol SAR. On the demand side, 21.14 to 2014. And then on the supply side, 25.44 to 27 even. Be mindful that this level has worked on 3 occasions, so I would utilize caution with the supply zone. And yeah, I don't have another supply zone for you after that. Next company I have for you is AER Test Systems. On the demand side, 10.38 to 9.33. On the supply side, 21.8 to 23.46. Skipping to Thursday, first company I have for you is Delta Airlines, ticker symbol DAL. On the demand side, 34.45 to 32.47. On the supply side, 59.86 to 63.52. Next company I have for you is Congra, ticker symbol CAG. On the demand side, 20 to 16.28. On the supply side, 32.34 to 33.68. Next on the list is Helen of Troy, ticker symbol HELE. On the demand side, 16.32 to 11.07. On the supply side, 52.09 to 60.39. Next is Levi Strauss, ticker symbol LEVI. Levi's is another one that has stayed between our levels. It hasn't hit them, you can see, for years now. So on the demand side, 10.93 to 9.06. On the supply side, 24.68 to 26.67. Next company I have for you is WD-40, ticker symbol WDFC. You can see this level worked for us last time we utilized it, so be cautious with this level at the 212.86 to 207.41. Have another demand level below it at 190.40 to 182.36. And on the supply side, 269.69 to 279.97. Last company I have for you this week is going to be Price Smart, ticker symbol PSMT. On the demand side, 94.46 to 91.01. And on the supply side, 114.60 to 120.38. That's going to do it for us this week. If you're not doing so already, do me a favor and follow me on social media. If you haven't hit that like button yet, do me a favor and do so. Also, subscribe to the channel. Feel free to go to the website for upcoming classes and check out the blog. And until next time, happy trading.